All right, so we're all here for the new player map announcement, which I'm pretty excited to bring to you. This has been a little bit of a sudden development. Um, there have been attempts over many years to get a player map working for Dragon Dice, and they've generally just been community efforts in the past. So, for those of us who are old enough to remember, um, there were SFR forums a long time ago. Um, Hosted by SFR and Travis, otherwise known here as Dolus, who is the other server admin with me and who manages all of the monthly tournaments. He maintained a map for a while in the forums. I also, as a community effort a number of years ago, maintained a Google map. Um, Both of those had their complications in that it was entirely dependent on people telling us they wanted to be on there and not really being able to put a lot of information in about how to contact each other. And of course, it was basically impossible to find out if people had moved or vanished. And yeah, effectively unmanageable. And then we had our Roll of Arms project, which ran there for a while, and we are actually in the process of deprecating Roll of Arms. Not an easy decision for us because a lot of time and effort went into that. But we've developed our capabilities with Discord bots, and we can provide some pretty awesome value added features. To, as I said earlier before I started recording, to what is our fastest growing platform. But the two things that Roll of Arms were doing was it had a player map and it had the ability to create, to store your collections, record your collections, and build forces. Um, but we've had Tim pop up again, who created. I can't remember what it was originally called. Hang on, I'll invite him in to speak for a moment, even if he doesn't want to. Um, and there we go. Let's see if we can hear Tim.
Wahaha. So can you hear me, Josh?
I absolutely can, and I'm sure everyone else can if I can. Um,
Awesome. Well, this means I can translate for William then.
Yep.
and now I can hear William.
I just
Ah.
restarted.
Okay, this is awesome. So, Tim, what did you originally? So, Dice Commander was originally something that you started in about 2019, I think. Um, I can't remember what it was called
Yeah,
back
I
then.
think I had initially just actually, you know what? I think I'm going to try the camera. Let's see how this works. Yes, you can have access to my camera. All right, there we go. Hello, everybody. So originally it was just called Dragon Dice. I didn't actually give it any kind of official name. It was a complete community effort. And yeah, the very first code was written probably, I think, about 5, 6 years ago. And then it just kind of seemed like a good time for sort of a resurrection. So here we
Yeah,
are. Now it is official.
it is. It's everything's looking really good now. But and part of anyone who remembers Tim's app from back then may remember that there was an army builder in it as well. Um, and it kind of is still there. We just hid it for now while we build out all of the reference material part first. So our goal with official resources is to focus primarily on the support of players. And this is not to say that collectors are not important to us, but we really want to promote the game, getting it out there, getting into stores, see people rolling dice, and so we're trying to put a lot of focus at the moment um, onto those play support tools. And that's why Roll of Arms is sort of taking a back seat. And then hopefully the mechanism that you use now, which is the player tools on the website to build your armies to get that Melchior pushes into Tabletopia, hopefully we can migrate that over to Dice Commander as well, so that you can build your force there, and we'll try and get a bit trickier so you don't have to do export strings and copy that into Melchior commands, and we'll try and make some integrations happen and do it directly from Dice Commander if we can. But again, it's probably all going to hang off of the back of Discord, because Discord is, as a platform, makes it really, really easy for us to join these things together. You have a Discord account. We don't have to worry about managing accounts. Bots know who you are. And that makes it nice and easy to put data into databases for us. So we've taken the player map part out of Roll of Arms, and we have put it into its own thing. And that's been... I'm just setting up my screen here to share the player map. And here it comes, and I will... Can I focus? I don't know if that, I can make that focus or not. You can click on the player map screen and that will focus in on it so you can see it nice and big. So yeah, William has been... He manages the bot Tarvanel. So anyone who knows the lore of Dragon Dice will know that Tarvanel is the father of all who created Esfar. And he's not here to usurp Melchior. He's just here to help the citizens of Esfar find each other to do battle. That's his primary goal right now. So William heads up writing the bot commands, and I've written all the code that runs the map, and taken a bit of handy advice from Tim, who actually knows how to make things look pretty. Well, you know, not all of us can be front-end developers as well. So this is the player map, and everybody can access it now if you want to. It's the website is dragondice.com/playermap. I might just type that into... Where will I put that? I'll put that into here. There we go. It's in chat. And I'm sure it's going to get around everywhere. So, and feel free to share it with people who weren't in this announcement and who don't see the recording. So you can jump on there, and we've got a few people on the map right now just for you to see how it works. So if I start zooming, I'll zoom all the way out and see the whole world. And you can see that we have some awesome clustering going on here. And it's telling us we've got 5 players, and when we put our mouse over that 5, it shows us the region that those 5 players are in. And we can, and you also see that when I first opened the map, it took me to my actually, if I just do this again, reload it, and it says, you know, you are here, click on the map pins to show player information, and I can click on map pins and see that stuff, and I would be able to click on a profile here, and it would open up Discord to that user's profile where you could then message them. So again, I'll zoom back out. If I click on that 5, it's going to zoom me in, expand everybody out. As you slowly scroll out, you'll see it's dropping that down there. I'll come back to Australia because, you know, that's my favorite place. And it does also handle You can see no matter how far I zoom in, I'll zoom in as far as I possibly can down here. And this just keeps staying as a 2, and this is because we've got 2 people who have put their map pin on exactly the same place. And if I click on that, it'll just explode them out. That's called spidering, just like Google Maps does, and we can see everybody there. That's basically how to sort of make use of the map. So I guess what everybody wants to know is, how do they get onto the map? Okay, here's how we get onto the map. What am I going to show you here? I need to switch my screen share. And I'm going to show you my Discord. This is going to get a bit Inception on me, I think. Wow, look at that. So what I'll do is I'll go over to General so that we don't have to see that.
I was having fun with it.
All right, so when we're in Discord, you can either use these commands you can use them in any channel, or you can DM Tarvanel. So Tarvanel, you'll see we made a slight change to the bots. We gave them a role so that they appear just under the admins and moderators. So you can click on Tarvanel there and you can DM the Allfather, or you can just start typing player map. And there are 3 commands available to you. And they're pretty, hopefully, self-explanatory. Set location is what you use to set your location. You would click on this and just start typing in something here. So you can be as specific or vague as you like. I could type in my full actual address here, or I could just, that could be the whole thing. Newbeath, Queensland, Australia. Or I can just be something really general, like type in Greenbank, Queensland, and that would work for me. If you're pretty certain that where you live is the only place named that in the whole world, like Australia's capital city, Canberra, that will work. So yeah, you don't need to put in your literal address. You can just put in something vague so that people can get your general location. And I'm going to do a quick refresh on the map and see how many of you are that keen already. Hey, there's a couple more people on there now. Look at that. Dark Kindness has joined us. Oh, we've got a few more people over there. Crusaders on the map. Excellent. So if you ever want to remove yourself... We got William talking in the background.
Yeah, I'm talking over you.
So if you ever want to remove yourself from the map, which I'd hope you don't, it's just player map remove. You can use set location anytime. It'll overwrite your previous location. You don't need to it's no different command. Just anytime you want to update your location, just set location, it'll change it. Once you've set location, those of you who've tried it will see that Tarvanel will give you back a link, and this at the end here is this little parameter on the link is your actual Discord user ID, and that'll just open the map zoomed in to that location that you've got registered. So if you wanted to check an area on the map, you can do checklocation, and that's simply going to give you back a link to an area. So you'll see Tarvanel's figured out where that location is and resolved it as a coordinate on Earth. And click on that and it'll open the map zoomed into that location. So yeah, if you do have a tricky address that, you find never gets, Google Maps can never figure it out, then maybe you want to check that it's going to resolve correctly before you set your location to that. It also can be handy if you just want to see who's in a particular region. You're going away for the weekend, going to Indianapolis or something. Type that in, click on the link, it'll show you who's around there. Let me just... I'll stop inceptioning. Go back to the player map. And yes, Tim is right. It does accept coordinates for anyone who actually knows their coordinates on Earth. So, future goals with the player map. Our first thing that we'll be adding to this is the ability to... Tarvanel will probably do a check once a month on the last update for users. We do record the date that you last set your location. So we will probably check that on a monthly basis, and if you haven't updated within 6 months, Tarvanel will message you directly and say, hey, are you still here? And we'll create a /playermap confirm command, and we'll just ask you to confirm to keep your location the same, or you could just do a set location if you happen to have moved in the meantime. Players that have a last update older than 12 months, we will probably remove them from the map, just for a bit of cleanup and maintenance there, and the confirm command again would just bring you back onto the map at your last location, or you could just set location again if you were somewhere different. So that's probably the first thing we'll do with it. Really long-term goals with it. We have the potential here to build in some sort of an event management system. We could allow players to say, hey, I'm playing at a game on such and such date at this location, and be able to, in the case of the first instance, you'd be able to see those on the map. Taking that further, we could probably push notifications out to players within a certain proximity of events. Just saying, hey, there's an event here with an open invite. And I guess if anyone in the community has got any suggestions about that, we are more than happy to take them. You can DM myself, William, anyone, any moderator, admin team, drop it in tech support. You name it, we'll find it. And we'll put it on the feature request list and see what we come up with. All right, I'm going to do another refresh on the map here and see what we've got. Maybe, if it'll do it for me. Hey, we got someone else.
Ooh, 4 in your neck of the woods.
When you do your mouse over on that 2, it just means they're a straight line. The boundary is a straight line when you've only got 2 people. Well, I hope we end up getting quite a lot of pins on here. The old Google map had, I don't know, I think it had about 150 pins on it in the end. Not really too sure. So hopefully we get a lot of people jumping onto the map real soon. So those of us that are in this announcement, be sure to encourage everybody else to get on there. We will obviously be promoting the heck out of this. And hopefully we can actually see some IRL games happening. Now, I guess the other thing I'd like to mention at this point is, cool, we've got a map, but you can't find anyone close to you on it. Well, it's a good time for me to just continually spruik our online play options. SFR officially supports Tabletopia, and most people in this server should be aware that we run a monthly online tournament through Tabletopia. There are instructions for that. I believe if I go to tournament lobby, I hope everyone is checking pinned posts in channels, because this is where you will find, actually maybe it's in the Tabletopia one. There you go. In the Tabletopia channel, that's where you'll find the instructions on how to use Melchior to create games, and our awesome mod Zach has put together a video on YouTube that you can watch and show you how to create custom armies and get them into Tabletopia. Tabletop Simulator, I see a few people have been trying to use it. It's not officially supported. I'm not really sure that the people responsible for that are continuing to update it. Every platform has its pros and cons, though. Tabletop Simulator is good because you don't have to build a custom army anywhere else. You can just do it in the Tabletop Simulator. A lot more people probably use TTS as well. Outside of Dragon Dice, that is. Octagon is how we say this one. So this is Tom, otherwise known as Stormy Waters on Discord, has been building out the Octagon platform. Again, pros and cons. It's Windows only and no mobile implementation. However, Tom has been building in a pile of automation. Don't know if we've got some screenshots in here. If my computer will catch up. Yeah, I don't know. You can do things. It'll automatically calculate roll results. You know, if the terrain is currently set to melee, you can right click in your home army, and there's an option there to look at the results that you've rolled, and it'll calculate them up. It'll give you, for magic actions, it will tell you the maximum number of points you could spend on any particular element color. So yeah, there's some cool stuff there to help automate the play. I'd encourage everyone to have a go at it anyway. See if you like it. There are people giving it a go. And again, check your pinned messages, because there are instructions in here on how to install it and get the game running. What's next? I guess while we're here, does anyone want us to cover a bit of Commander? Because I think we probably should. It's looking pretty cool these days, and oh, I really should have hidden. Actually, you know what? I probably could. I could like. No, I was just trying to think whether I could hide the address bar and show them some other stuff, but I won't.
Not yet. It's not ready.
No, it's probably not. It's probably not. I checked in. You haven't done any more. You're sacked. No, we're
You just doubled my salary. How
I know.
can you fire me now?
I'm halving it again now. We all work for zero for love. You get half the love now. So Commander is looking pretty cool. I must say
that hurts.
I've heard some really positive feedback from people at meetups that I personally host. And one of the coolest things that we've got available to us now is the cantrip and reserves filters. So we can really quickly see what spells we can cast from there. The other cool stuff now, if people haven't tried it, is... Oh yeah, my internet in Australia is really starting to slow down. When we're looking at units, we can click on the dice faces. For those who haven't looked at Commander or just haven't tried it, you can do this and see the actual SAI. You don't have to flick over to the SAI's page on a species now. So this is pretty cool. The dragons, the dragon breath is in here, which is awesome. Makes that nice and easy for new players. And a full list of all of those. So we can link from the breath there across to that. The other thing we've got in here is a bit of the lore, mostly taken from the main SFR page and Christopher Schmitz's wiki, which I'm not sure if it's been publicly announced yet, so that might be a teaser, or I'm not sure. But yes, they're...
I mean, I think you kind of just did.
Well, yeah, there's a teaser. People will start hitting him up for the URL now. It'll, you know, that's it. That's his hurry up. Okay. Well, I think that's about all I really need to cover in this. That's the map. I look forward to seeing more people on it. I'm really pleased to be able to bring it to the community. And unless we've got any other questions, but it looks like we've already had some people dropping off. But if you've got questions right now, you can ask away. I'll give a moment or two for just in case fingers start typing. And it can be anything about the map, about Commander, about Draculum, about rules development, anything. Just a few. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for being here too. Now what? This is a really positive community. It's just it's a fun place to be. Kicks ass all over Facebook, I reckon.
It really does. There's more
A,
engagement here, I think.
a bunch of friendly people, always keen to help. Are players ever allowed to suggest things for rules or in general put up ideas? Look, I mean, the rules development process, it's an interesting one. I mean, ultimately, Chuck Pint is the product manager of Dragon Dice. So he has the final say on the rules development. There is a process that occurs, and I mean, if I'll do the Inception thing again. I won't really show you anything except to say if you see my admin channels that I have available, you'll see that there are things like Draculum play testing and a rules development forum channel, and so these are backroom things where we do have a small number of people that are involved in those activities. And any suggestions that get brought up, they get heard, and feel free to workshop things maybe in game variant channel or things like that. And if they pick up a bit of momentum within the community, they're more likely to come onto the radar of those of us who are arguing about what the rules should be. It's not always a smooth process. It usually has contentious parts to the conversation, but we get there in the end. The other thing I'd really encourage people to do is to make use of the SFAR Chronicles. That's run by Steve Allen, who's in Scotland. He's not super active within the community, but he is there. If you tag him, he can help with setting it up to be an author on the SFAR Chronicles, which is the fan blog site. If I come back over here and go to dragondice.thill.net. So for those that don't know the SFAR Chronicles, this is a really cool resource for the community. This is a way to put out your own content about the game. Some stuff. So Jeff Denman, which is Calrich, has a pile of articles in here for each species. I've got some articles in there with a whole bunch of house rule variations, which may seem odd coming from somebody who was instrumental in version 4 development. But yeah, I mean, I have some house rule variations in there that I use for playing an even more strategy complex multiplayer version of the game. There's actually a link on the SFAR Chronicles to the old Google map, which I maintained. So you can see there were actually quite a number of people in there. If you want to get access to the old Google map, it's here. It's not currently maintained, so it is what it is. It'll tell you people's names, and maybe you can find them on Facebook, depending on... I mean, this probably hasn't been touched for 2 years, at least, I would think. But there's a possibility you'll still find some of these... A lot of these people are still in the community. I mean, most of the names I've just clicked on, I know are... look at that one. There's William. So yeah, that's probably my long-winded answer to that. If you've got ideas, get them out there in the community, and mock up a dice, test it, put up some reports of using it. I guess the more effort you put into demonstrating that an idea may have some merit, the more likely it is to get picked up. And I guess one example of that would be the minor terrain rules in version 4. For those who did play with earlier versions of the game, you should know that the minor terrain rules were very different. And in fact, the minor terrain rules, which are in version 4 now, came from my personal play group in Australia. They were rules that we had developed. They were a little bit more complex, but Chris Shepperson, who headed up the version 4 project, he vetoed a little bit of it, but about 90% of it got kept. So that's an example of it was a house rule that we used here in a group of maybe 8 or 10 players at the time, and yeah, we played it, we tested it, we proved it, and it made it in. So yeah, get your ideas out there, put them up on, on the S5 Chronicles, get them up in the Discord and the game variants, show us it in play. Substitute a dice in Tabletopia if you need to, and then see how it works. Well, unless we get anything else in the next 30 seconds, I'll probably wind it up. And I don't know. I think we've only got one other Australian in here who, it's one of my mates and has more dice than me anyway, so I don't need to tell him that PAX Australia is coming up. I'm not sure what events we have coming up in the US that everyone needs to get along to. There was talk of something on Facebook. I know that there's some event, something to do with, I haven't really been following it. William, do you know what that event is that Chris Schmitz was talking to the rest of SFR about?
Oh, I barely followed that conversation, unfortunately. I was a little bit busy. I know that he was doing something where they're trying to gather people together in his area.
Just what'll I do here? I'll pull out a window, I'll jump on Facebook, because I think something was posted about it in the Dragon Dice Players community group in the last 24 hours. Dragon Dice will be played at Lake Geneva Dragon Days in mid-October.
That's what it was.
So if I click on
and
that, I'll get a link for that, and I can drop that in here.
That's an important one. There's some important people showing up to that one.
Yeah, so that's something to check out. My understanding is that Christopher Schmitz will be there, and possibly some other people from SFR, and that there will be dice happening. The link to the Chronicles. Yep. I'll drop that in here too. And I think if you were to go to the content and resources channel and look at pinned posts in there. Yeah, if you have a look at the pinned posts in content and resources channel, Travis has got a rather large list of links in there. So there are piles and piles of stuff. Actually, you know what? I'll have to get Travis to add the map and commander to that. So that will be cool. Oh, yeah, there's another one by Iceman. So Stormy Waters, which is Tom Alstein, responsible for Octagon. Also authors the blog site The Dice Must Flow, which Iceman has just dropped into chat there as well. That's a handy resource, and I've been trying to fire Tom up again and get him keen because he's a really good resource for this game. A big advocate of it. Knows the strategy pretty well. So head there if you want to find some cool stuff as well. Okay. Glad to have you all here. Look forward to doing something like this again in the future. And look forward to bringing more features to the player map for everybody. Until next time, thanks for coming.
See you all.